Welcome to Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. Several weeks ago, my dear friend Roz Himberger and I were talking about the days when we were raising our kids together in Forest City, Iowa. We had a group of friends who we spent a lot of time with, hosted a lot of parties with, laughing, singing, and storytelling. As we reminisced, Roz said, "We never took those days for granted. We enjoyed every minute." That really hit me because she was absolutely right. We look back on those days and wish we could live them again, not because we let them go by without intentionally focusing on the goodness of them, but because they were so good and we soaked up each moment so that we would want to do it again. It's like the blessing my dad always said to us kids: "I hope you had such a good day that tomorrow you want to repeat it." Isn't that awesome? Well, too often, as people look back, we hear, "I wish I would have known what I had." Well, today you can become more intentional about living the moment and soaking the moment so much that you would want to repeat it simply because it was so good or held meaning. It comes down to how we live with intention. I recently spent the day with my 95-year-old mom who lives with memory loss. She writes everything down in her journal, which she calls her book. Each inscription includes the exact time and description of what she did, ate, and who called. My journal is spattered with quotes, drawings, descriptions, and observations of experiences of interest. Mom's book is her hook to reality, and from there she can continue to find meaning and purpose for her life because it reminds her of what and who is important right now. My journal is my hook to how I make meaning and live with purpose in my life too. Both of these journals reflect intentional living differently, but both powerfully important. As we were talking about this, I reminded Mom how often she told me that she has enjoyed every stage and every year of her life. Then she said, "Now my goal is to live to be 100." There is no doubt Mom has lived through pain, disappointment, sorrow, and grief, as well as joy, celebrations, and successes. But as she looks back on it all, like my friend Roz, she says, "I didn't take anything for granted and can be grateful for all I experienced." Hmm. This is a wonderful thing to be able to say. I found a quote in high school that says, "While you are dreaming of the future or regretting the past, the present, which is all you have, slips from you and is gone." Well, without realizing it, that quote probably started shaping my attitude for intentional living. Living intentionally allows us to revisit the past without regret and allows us to look forward and anticipate what is yet to come, knowing we will focus on the experience so it does not go by unnoticed or appreciated. Even if past experiences are not good ones, what we take in learning or wisdoms gives them worth if we intentionally decide to reframe them in such a way. How do you make a record of your day, your experiences? If you don't want to record thoughts or experiences in a journal, you can make a habit of thinking or talking about them, about what you do to experience them with someone at the end of the day. Intentionally reflecting in some way seems to make our days count. And who doesn't want to make their days count? When I was growing up, my dad would often go around our dinner table asking each of us what the best thing of the day was. There are plenty of stories that talk about those who look back on life and wonder where it went, what it was worth. Or like the lyrics in this song Peggy Lee sang, "Is that all there is?" We own the responsibility to make it count, to give life worth. It's up to us. Whatever it is, it can be counted as meaningful whenever we assign it to our memory and find value in what it might represent to us in our lives. That is living with intention. I remember when my dad died, I sat with his body, feeling the warmth still in his skin and intentionally soaking up the moment so I would remember and always have it in my heart. Saturday, our son Andrew married his lovely partner Lily. I soaked in every moment intentionally. It is a day that I will look back upon with pure joy. Many podcasts ago, I shared a scene from one of my favorite movies, Secondhand Lions. Near the end of the movie, after the two eccentric uncles died, their heir, their nephew Walter, is standing by the sheriff. A helicopter from the Middle East suddenly lands in the yard. Stepping out is a sheik's grandson and the sheik's great grandson from the stories that Walter believed his uncles had fabricated. The little great grandson of the sheik asks Walter, "So, these two men from grandfather's stories, they really lived?" Walter wistfully answers, "Yeah, they really lived." It is what we all should hope that we or others say of us someday. This week on your bathroom mirror, write, "I will live intentionally so that I really live." Join me next Monday for Live, life inspired views for every day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.